Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Wow. We made it from the last podcast you and I did. I feel like I know you a lot better than I did previously. And we're now located on a different location, aren't we?
You are, yes.
This is cool, man. This is, when you approached me about the idea of coming to your cafe, or what should I call it? Coffee shop?
Coffee shop, work hub, something
work
like
hub,
that, yeah.
Work hub?
We call it work hub, yeah.
Okay.
Because we have designed a place to make it very, good for people who want to stay here for hours and hours and work. We have power outlets everywhere and chargers out, and they can just hang out and work here.
This is so awesome, man. I love these coffee shops that are designed for people to really get things done, so to speak. So, and that's the first thing I noticed when I came in. I was like, wow, why are these? Everything's got plugs and stuff. What's up with that? This is really comfortable. I love it. And then you got this beautiful view out here of what is this area? What would you call this little section here of Budapest?
So it's interesting actually. So this is Market Karut, but the real good thing about it is that actually this is the view why we decided to rent out. This place.
Thank you.
Let's switch it around. You asked for chocolate.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this is the view that we were looking for, and that's why we rented. But actually here on this side there was this huge crime committed, one of the biggest crimes in Hungarian mafia.
Really?
Yeah.
What year was this?
Long back.
Really?
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was the killing of someone walking on that crossroad right there.
The one that goes up, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crosswalk, yeah. And then someone just jumped out of the car and then shot the guy.
Wow.
Yeah, this is huge history of Hungary.
Okay.
Not many things happen here this, but yeah.
Okay. Well, do you remember? I'm so curious, the history of that. Wow, that's crazy.
Let's look it up for next time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a story. The gentleman who got me to come to Hungary and live here for the first time, his grandfather lived right up this road there. If you go up that road going up, somewhere in this area here, that's where he actually lived, which was pretty amazing when I first discovered that. His grandfather came in. His grandfather was gone since 1956, and then he came back only when his grandson came here, and his grandfather got reintroduced to his sister who he hadn't seen since 1956. Mm-hmm. And apparently they saw each other. She became a nun at some point, and then they just felt crying profusely because they knew it was the first time they had seen each other since all that time. And it was probably going to be the last time they see each other, right? Because he had to go back. So, interesting story. Hungary has a beautiful backdrop, I can tell you right now. So tell me, where are we? Tell them where we are.
Yeah, so we are at Montage. It's the work hub that we talked about. We have opened this place 1.5 years ago. And then, last time we had a chat, and then I proposed the idea of maybe having this on-spot podcasting studio for you. And then you said you jumped on the ideas right away. So this is the first time we're trying out the system and trying out if it works. Actually, one thing I had to do is I'm going to somehow tell her to make some coffee. So we see that.
Oh, okay.
Does it come in the?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Like this noise is disturbing or not?
No, it's right. I can always drink 2 cups of coffee. Actually, you could just yell it to her. You want to put? I don't know. I have to learn my Hungarian. My Hungarian is not as skilled as it should be, being that I've spent a long time coming in and out of Hungary. I just don't. Let me try this coffee. What is this coffee? This is the light, you said?
Yeah. So we have a dark and a light roasted. But before you try, let me tell you about this. So this is gonna feel like it tastes like it's sour, fruity. Okay. So if you don't like it, we're gonna make you another one. But I started drinking dark roasted, and then I tried light roasted first. I tried it with milk, and it felt like the milk was not good anymore. You know, that sour taste.
Milk. Mm-hmm.
But now I am not able to drink dark roasted anymore. Only light.
Interesting.
It's much better. But you have to get, you have to know that it is something else.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like real coffee.
Thank you for the warning.
Yeah.
I'm prepared now. Do I need to put anything in it? I just try it the way it is, authentically.
No sugar for sure.
No sugar. Oh, wow. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, it does have a sour taste to it, but it is coffee.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. What word? Is this a Hungarian bean, or is it, where does this coffee come from?
So the light roasted really is only...
In case people you're wondering what that sound is, that's the sound that we're hearing in the background
that's the coffee place.
That's the coffee place. I love it, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I like that.
Let's switch it on afterwards if it's extremely disturbing or it just feels casual.
Well, I think it'll just cause people to want to come to Montage and try
I hope so. Yeah, so the roasted light or dark really means how much time it was roasted for. You know, like the beans actually are lighter or darker. And then the second part is where the coffee is from and how they harvest it. And then this one is from Ethiopia.
Oh. That's what I'm told. My people, when they see me from Ethiopia, when I was growing up, they always thought I was from Ethiopia.
Oh,
and so I started talking. So awesome.
We actually have a guy who's bringing us the coffee, who's Ethiopian.
Oh, really?
Half Ethiopian, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's living in Hungary. He speaks Hungarian. He's Hungarian, but I think his father was Ethiopian. So he goes out to the Ethiopian coffee places, and then he just tries the beans and brings home whatever he likes.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
That's how we choose the coffee.
I love it. Let me do this again. You guys, excuse me 1 second. Those that are listening to this podcast, I did press record, right?
I think you did now. Is it the red is when you record and the...
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
It's actually kind of weird.
Yeah, well, no, it's correct, but dang it. I just, it's a bad memory I like to divorce from my brain. Yeah, that is good coffee. That's interesting. I would never have chosen this style. And I don't miss the sugar, because generally I drink Americano, black, 2 sugars.
Yeah, dark roasted with sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is really unique.
This is something else.
And also, the people that, if I was sitting in Ethiopia, right? This is what they would be serving me?
Well, don't quiz me and don't test me on the Ethiopian culture. But actually, they use, they have their own tradition. If you can see, the things are there. You can, but you can.
What is it?
Those are the real Ethiopian style coffee.
Which ones?
On the shelves.
Let me grab one.
Yeah.
Let me grab one real quick. So, we're kind of doing this the right way, right?
Yeah.
I wanted the camera to see this. I know everybody listening will not be able to see what I just pulled, but it is a traditional pot, right? For
Ethiopian coffee.
For Ethiopian coffee, pouring Ethiopian. Wow, look at this top here. It's like a sharpened pencil.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it look like a sharpened pencil?
And look, if you take it out, it's even weirder.
And over here is the beans, the raw beans. Wow, this is like an educational moment for me. I love it. So this is the raw beans. They're like white, almost like a light colored bean. Very small, almost like lentil style bean.
Yeah, and then when you roast it, depends on how much time you roast it for. It's gonna be it's gonna be in the spectrum of from very light to very dark.
Okay, gotcha. Were you a coffee connoisseur prior to having this place?
Yes, but I got into it more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man, I didn't start drinking coffee till I started coming to Europe.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I wasn't a coffee drinker.
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S., coffee is more like more like tea, I guess.
I found out, yeah. And then when I came here and they were over, it's like, I'd say, can I have a cup of coffee? And they say, sure. And they give me this little thing like this. You know, and I'd be like, that's all you guys trying to save money or something? What's going on? But I didn't realize that that's actually the traditional way people drink, like the little shots and stuff to drink. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I like Americano though.
You like Americanos?
Yeah, that's what I drink.
Oh, okay.
I drink ice Americano usually.
Oh, okay. Cool. Right on, man. So we were deciding a topic today. We actually started talking about SaaS. I remember we talking about that last night about SaaS products, man. And I'm a big fanatically into SaaS product. Anybody that doesn't know what SaaS is, it means software as a service. And many brands, many softwares back in the day when I was using software, you would have like some kind of CD that they would put the CD into the machine of sorts, like a computer. And then from there, you would pull down the software off that CD or DVD sometimes, and you would use it. And then if they ever did updates, you'd have to basically get the new CD to get the update. Nothing happened online, nothing at all. So now everything went online, and so since internet got faster and that process a lot of these companies turned themselves into like software companies, almost crossed over from that into SaaS spaces, right? What's your feeling about SaaS?
So we use SaaS a lot in my company. In Vuvu, we use quite a few tools to do automation, like optimized workflows and stuff, and really the bottom line in a startup is how much it costs. So we use every kind of way to get out of paying, and it is actually funny how well they monetize it in terms of they just know that this is startup thing to do not have any kind of money in the beginning.
Right.
So almost every one of them have like this pay as you go kind of plans.
Freemium.
Yeah, freemium, but freemium is more like so freemium is more in the mobile app and kind of thing area.
Okay.
Where it is, like you use it for a couple of weeks, maybe use it to an extent, and then you pay. But it's much more measurable. You pay in the first month or so.
I see.
Whereas in B2B SaaS, especially startup programs, they have almost every one of them have like startup specialized memberships, and they more 2 years after you pay, but then you pay a lot, and all of them are set up like this, or not all of them, but like most of them. And for example, Amplitude, Amplitude?
I don't.
I think it's one of the best software for data analytics. Loads of people use it. But how they do
it's an analytics software, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's one of the best, Amplitude. And then they actually charge around a couple of thousand per month, like 5,000 maybe. And then they have this startup program, where you apply if they like the company, or I guess every kind of company they like. I don't know the screening process. But yeah, and then they give it to you for free for a year. And you get so hooked up.
Clever.
If you actually, because it's $5,000, so it's not like you get 20% discount. It's for free. It's cheaper than like a $10 analytics deal.
Right.
But you use it because it's much better, and then you get hooked up on it. And if you could raise money as a startup, you could get your seed round or Series A in of a couple of millions. Then you were very able to afford Amplitude. Right. Otherwise, you just don't use it anymore. So that's their plan to, like get the startups in the beginning.
That's smart.
Yeah, and almost all of them do this.
Yeah. Wow, that's clever. Wow. I basically about 10 years ago, I decided, especially as more of a solopreneur, I guess they call it now. You to cut costs. I've used a lot of different SaaS products, just like CRMs or things like currently that are voice-based, like the TTS, text to speech type of things. Just various SaaS products. I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh yeah, like Crello. I don't know if you remember with Crello, but actually they're called Vistaprint now, but they're the direct competitor to something like Canva, right? Another SaaS product in the graphics world. And early on, I found a couple of companies, or I guess a lot of these companies decided, we're going to do an LTD, which means lifetime deal. And since they're early startups, rather than having people try to invest or getting investment out of it, what they'll do is they'll just say, look, use our software. We'll give you our first tier, second tier, or third tier. Obviously, the third tier is actually maximizing their SaaS product. Yeah. But you can use it for the life of it. right? So that way, if you just buy into it, they don't have to give away any stocks or anything related to it. At the same time, if they do become this massive SaaS product, you're with it for life, right? So I started buying into those like maybe, I want to say almost 10 years ago, right? And some of the ones that I bought just tanked, like they're just absolutely garbage, right? Yeah. Which, that's the risk that you do in stocks and bonds anyway, right? But some of them have actually been bought out by larger companies that have, invested millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in them. Yeah. And they've grown into this massive space. One that just comes to mind now, do you remember, there's a company now that's called Loom.
Yeah.
Loom?
Yeah.
Loom was just bought out by another company. I can't think of the name of it. It starts with an A or something. But they just got bought out for roughly a little under $1 billion. They just were bought out completely.
Yeah.
And they're an application for video, right? If you just, rather than sending an email, you just send this video and you can have interaction with people. It's a great software.
Yeah, I use it a lot, yeah.
You do use it a lot, yes. I did too for a long time until I found this LTD deal on this company called SendSpark. SendSpark does the same thing. At the time, they weren't at that level, right? But I could see the potential. And the lady that runs it, I can't think of her name now. They're out of Texas somewhere. I think San Antonio. They actually made this incredible product that I'm able to do just what I can do with Loom. But there's other advantages with it. Like they've really built relationships with like integrations with LinkedIn and various where they've added their component. So you can send a video right away and have people respond to that video. You can have a custom domain surrounding that, because I think Loom, you have to use Loom. Whereas theirs, you can actually just use your company, and then that allows you to, you can basically brand it with your company, custom domains, all of that. And it's really simple to use. And now they're at a stage now that they're, able to charge quite a bit for it. But since I was one of the early adopters, I have it. Yeah. I have it forever, right? I have close to 100 of these. That's why I was saying to you, we should talk about like this stuff, because I have like 100 because and there are a variety of things. Most of them I don't use.
Do you have any like CRM with mail? Like,
yes.
Yeah,
I absolutely do.
Because we just struggle with that.
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, like remember when I sent you the invoice for the last thing, right? That's another product just like that. And they have all of the product for
to send automated emails.
Well, it does so much more, right? It does the invoicing, but it does like, oh my gosh. Most of the technology I don't use because I had bought other things. Initially, when I bought it, it didn't do all of those things. But the company, I saw the potential. I always do. You know how if you check stocks and stuff and you're about to invest into something, if it's a small company, you generally have to do your due diligence, right? You have to check out who's running it, who's... how long have these people been in business? Where are they located? What does their management team look like? All these different things I try to check before I decide to make a purchase. These. Now I lost my train of thought, man. This coffee is just really so good that it's making me lose my train of thought. For all you people that are listening right now, I'm just going to, before I continue on with that, I'm going to just do a side note here. I'm looking at my croissant here. Did you make these croissants here?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You made these croissants?
I mean, we baked them.
Okay.
Yeah. We got it as like frozen.
Gotcha.
And then...
They're super like light and fresh.
Yeah, these are great croissants.
Oh my goodness.
Straight from France.
I can't wait. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys, you really know how to do this, man. Jeez. This entrepreneur, Benedek number 2, I'm just going to call him 2 because I can't think of his last name right now, introduced me to you. And he had initially, I heard him introduce you in the podcast that you both did together. And he kept saying that you did this, and all these things. And I was like, 22, give me a break. There's no way he'd done all this stuff. Let me try this bite real quick. Oh, yeah. That's good. Oh, yeah. That's really good.
Happy to hear that.
Yes, people, I'm sorry. Anybody that's listening to this right now, just enjoy me chewing. Just savor it for a minute.
When I was eating mine, I was like, anxious about how bad it sounds. But now I did hear yours, it's not that bad.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? What was I talking about? Lost my train of thought. Okay, so SaaS, right?
B2B SaaS, mail apps.
Yeah. So LTD deals. I have quite a few, close to 100 of them. The goal was for me when I bought into them, I thought, okay, I would package them up and I would partner with people. And if they needed these services, rather than them trying to find these things, I would provide these services to them as a startup, that they can afford to do independently. And I just charge them a subscription based on that. You follow me?
Yeah. But so you mean like you have like a bunch of things, a bunch of softwares, and then you sell it together as a membership?
Yeah, like as a package. Like for instance, say you need.
But you sell the know-how or you sell the license?
No. Sell the access to having the people that buy these SaaS products generally don't dig in to find out how they work, right?
Yeah.
So the goal for me would be to, what I was thinking, I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but what I was thinking was individuals that want to be in business to do whatever business that they're doing, they don't want to know how to do all that stuff. Sometimes they just want to be able to, custom domain. I just want to put my domain. I wanted to have my domain in it for the CRM. I want to be able to have emails sent in and out so it has my domain connected to it. I want to be able to have graphics done that does this, this, and this, and I just need that done for me, but I can't pay like an agency this enormous price to get these individual things done. Sure. Let me just pay you for handling that process, and we agree on, okay, we're going to use it this amount if you reach this number of people that actually use your CRM.
That's a great service.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, we struggle with setting these up, and I would love to have someone who does it, because for you it's no time. Like you've done this many times before. I would love to just pay, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 euros just to get it done over with, and then you can do it as like a freelancer kind of thing on Fiverr or Upwork, and then just set it up. Hey, if you have a business and you want automations, I'm the guy to do that, because you have the know-how of these apps. So I guess that's something I would have paid for.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I think people would. Like the setup fee and then the subscription fee just to manage the process. Of it,
the subscription is always less. I don't know. I like to pay for setup.
Right.
Because let me tell you my train of thought. So if I pay for setup, I feel like people or people in my company or me, we get like the know-how, we pull information, we pull knowledge into the company.
Right.
If I outsource something, the opposite happens. I am not, required to put the know-how in the company. So this might be a small thing to have SaaS products managed by us, but I would love to, have that initial 300 euros or 400 euros to understand how it works and understand, like a course, but much more, because let's say you were professional in this, and then I have so many problems that I just cannot find the courses for, and then you make it happen. I would love to pay for that, but to manage it, that's something I would want to do in-house, just to make sure that that I think that's and I would always, if I have questions, I would ask you and maybe pay for that, but to manage it, I would not really want to.
That's interesting. I always felt that there always should be somebody in-house to if I drop dead tomorrow, you can still run it and be able to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But I find that a lot of people aren't really like that. They're not really interested in the day in and day out things. They think they are until they really dig in. You're an exception to that rule, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of areas where I think in-house is just not an option. Outsourced should be. And it's definitely one of them is digital marketing. It's
a different game, isn't it?
It's so unique, and I've worked with a couple of agencies now, and like the difference they can make in terms of like, there are two things to like a digital marketing campaign. First one, maybe the product and how you brand the product, and the second one is how you deal with data. And then the first one could be different from I don't know, an earplug to a clothing business. but the data is the same. And that's where I come to see that it doesn't really matter how good of creatives you make, how good of, videos or pictures you create. At the end of the day, they are dealing with the same numbers every single day, and they know what they mean, how the campaign is performing. So it's really, that's one of the, I would love to have an in-house digital marketing expert.
Oh yeah.
But until I cannot afford it and cannot do that,
right.
I think that is one of the best things to outsource in the beginning for sure.
I bet you people that walk in here, they probably, that person you're talking about probably comes in here once a week, twice a week or something. Just the conversation has never occurred. Hence this podcast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of podcasts to me, right? That's why I got into this game, is because, number one, I get to hear stories. I love stories.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
My God. I mean, that.
And you have the greatest ones.
Do I?
Yeah, I think
thanks,
so.
Man. It just, I enjoy hearing people's journey and what happened in that journey, because it kind of paints a picture of things on a local scale, because I can get a chance to know the environment that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because, I'm from Los Angeles, California, but I'm in Budapest, Hungary.
Ray of LA.
Exactly. Ray of LA. Booyah. Budapest FM. Booyee. And looking at this, I mean, I don't have any connection of this. Oh, did I wave? Did they wave it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Sorry, I wasn't here. So it's like I get a chance to hear these real stories, and then with that, you build relationships, because like I wouldn't know you unless I met your Benedek. Excuse me. I keep saying two because this gentleman has a business associate that he works with that is the CFO of Vuvu, and he's the gentleman that introduced me to him, right? Benedek one. So I mean, and so that relationship's always kind of builds out, and then eventually you meet people that are like, I mean, this wouldn't happen unless that happened.
Yeah.
And so one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And I believe that building relationships, you find people that are like enthusiastic about what they believe in, like, or what their work is, like you said, marketing, for instance, that they would love to be in a situation where they can just talk about their marketing, like talk about why it's so important, talk about this, talk about that. And this is like a great location, or even segue for that matter, to let you guys know that, look, we want to have conversations like this that help propel other people that are wanting to share their skills, share their talent with the world, so to speak. Because if you can do it on a local level, like in Budapest, through a podcast, well, guess what? This travels all around the world. Okay, it may not be today, it may not be next week, it may not be next month, it could be a year from now. But somebody somewhere is going to hear this in Los Angeles or Dubai or whatever. And they're going to be like maybe looking to come to Budapest for whatever reason.
I hope so, yeah.
You know what I mean? And well, it's inevitable. It's inevitable because it's just numbers at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's just numbers. It's like it may not be the next 10 people or 100 people, but it could be 101. And at that point, they know how to find us now, right? They know how to deal with us, especially if we do this on a consistent basis. So that's what excites me. That's the more than money. The money will come. Right? I always think the sponsors, anybody that's interested in that process, but if your focus is money, then you're messing up entirely, because that's
the product is gonna.
There's
there's not gonna benefit from that.
I've seen people throw out money at projects all the time, big time, but they don't have the knowledge and they don't have the heart for it, right? Yeah.
And just imagine, like, one last thing before we wrap up, because I might need to go in a couple of minutes.
That's right.
But just one more thing is that I think what you do as a business to have a podcast studio and allow people to jump into this game like this is amazing. And I really think that us being here could mean a lot. Like, I don't know, the busiest tramline in the world, 4-6, sees this corner every single day. And if you have regulars here and you just do this from time to time, I really believe it could take off.
Let's make it a regular thing.
Yeah.
Let's make it a regular thing. I think, I have, I'm committed to this. Obviously, I have another location, but I actually really am liking this location, you guys. This is special. If you guys believe the same thing, send us. How can people contact us? I know Budapest.fm www.budapest.fm. You can find me. But yourself, like, how can they find you or the coffee shop where we're located?
Me, LinkedIn, probably, and then coffee shop through Facebook,
Facebook.
Yeah, so it's everywhere. So you just put in Montage Budapest and you can find it.
Montage Budapest. Come here, check us out. This was fun.
Yeah.
Right on? Hey, man. I hate to cut it short, man, but you got to go. Salute. Cheers.